Hey folks, how are you? Matt Peralt back with you for another PlayPicks.com Final Four pick. This time, game number 2, Texas Tech and Michigan State. But before we break into the game and tell you who I'm going to play, what I'm going to pick, let's talk about PlayPicks.com/bonus. You guys are going to go on over here, take a look at the screen, and we're talking about DraftKings. DKPicks.com as well. Good website to go to. DraftKings, $25 for free just for joining. Just for joining. Very easy, very simple. By the way, I'm Matt Peralt. Did I say that? Hi, Matt Peralt. Good to see you guys again. Click this link. Here we go. Play now. Boom. $25 for free just for joining. Why not? BetStars, you got $500, not 50, 500. Risk-free wager for new customers. Click that link, play now, BetStars. Or if you're in Jersey with FanDuel, $500, a risk-free wager. Get up to $500 refunded for your first bet. So go there, first bet, $500, no risk. Get it back. Very cool, very simple from FanDuel. So playpicks.com/bonus is where you're going to want to go. All right, FanDuel and DraftKings, primarily what we look at here. Over at FanDuel, Texas Tech, Michigan State, -2.5. Both of these are at -110. The total is 132.5, also at -110. Over at DraftKings, Texas Tech and Michigan State, you've got 2.5. The line as well, but this is -112. A little more juice, -109. You want the dog in Texas Tech. Total of 132.5. That's also at -110. Money line 125 and -150. Money line here is +130 and -150 for Michigan State. So let's start breaking down these two games. Okay, the two teams in this game. How'd they get here? Let's start with Texas Tech. They beat Northern Kentucky, Buffalo, Michigan, Gonzaga. Pretty strong run from a 3-seed perspective, right? Defense mixed with offense, mixed with three-point shooting. It's a pretty good team out of the Big 12. Texas Tech, very, very difficult to stop. Jared Culver, great player. For Michigan State, they beat Bradley, then Minnesota, LSU, and Duke. LSU and Duke, much better. Those two performances versus the first two games for Michigan State. On those, okay. Cass Winston is just an unbelievable player. Great player. 20 points, 10 assists versus Duke. 6-foot guard. Got to be a playmaker. Must be huge in this game for Michigan State to wind up winning and knocking out Texas Tech. A couple of big stats jump out right away here. This is kind of, these are two incredibly tough defensive basketball teams. It's almost like football. They're just going to brawl with each other. Chris Beard, Tom Izzo. I am petrified of the coaching matchup, and I'll get to it in a second, but my goodness, Tom Izzo's a really good coach in these games. Number 1 adjusted defensive efficiency in the country, however, for Texas Tech. You don't score in these guys. Number 2 opposing field goal, effective field goal percentage for these guys. That's just right here. Texas Tech, number 2 in the country, effective field goal percentage. 42.5. Yikes. Unbelievable. Top 50 in steals per game for Texas Tech. Top 20 in blocks per game. Jared Culver with 19 against Gonzaga. He must be a star coming up in this game for the Red Raiders. Number 8 for adjusted defensive efficiency in the country. That's really, really good for Michigan State. Number 4 in opposing field goal percentage right here, 43.8. Number 4 in opposing effective field goal percentage. Number 3 in assists per game as well for Michigan State, which is really, really good. Right here, assists per game, number 3 in the country, 18.7. They are dynamic when it comes to sharing the basketball. As I mentioned, Cass Winston, they're our best player. So it's going to be an absolute barn burner here between these two games, two teams on the defensive end. And that's why when you're playing in a big, gigantic dome stadium, and this is the second game now, okay? Second game of the night, Texas Tech and Michigan State. I just feel like when you look at defensively here, Michigan State, 30th in the country, 65.1 points per game. Texas Tech, 59 points per game, number 3 in the country. You start looking at their how they hold people, scoring margin, right? 13.9 points, scoring margin, 13.2 points. You just don't score in these guys. So let's talk about a couple of the wagers here, right? Let's talk about first half, and let's talk about total points. 61.5 points at FanDuel. At DraftKings, very similar with 60.5 points per game for DraftKings. Let me just pull that up real fast here for first half here. It's 61.5. I think you got to play the under. I think you got to do it. 61.5. I'm playing the under in the first half as well. I think you got to play the under here. 61.5 minus 110, 61.5 minus 110. So wherever you want to play, it's the same. Texas Tech for FanDuel or DraftKings, it's the same with first half unders. Another line I like a lot here is Michigan State -1. And here's my thought process on this. I think both teams are going to grind it. I think both teams are going to play pretty slow. The Dome, difficult to play, but Michigan State's been here in terms of their head coach. Their head coach has more experience, way more experience than Chris Beard. Chris Beard's going to be a really good coach. He is a very good coach right now. I just think Tom Izzo and Michigan State, they're going to have less butterflies, less of a nervous reaction, and I think they'll be better prepared. Michigan State expects to be in Final Four. When you go to Michigan State to play for Tom Izzo, you expect to be there. So I think first half, I'm taking Michigan State minus the 1. So under 61.5 for total, and then Michigan State minus 1. Other wager I'm going to make, I'm going to go ahead and take Texas Tech plus 125. Going to take Texas Tech here to win. Texas Tech 125 on the money line. If you like it over at FanDuel, you can get it at plus 130. So play it at plus 130 on the money line for Texas Tech to win. Why? Here's why. I think Texas Tech offensively is just a little bit better. I think they're going to be a little bit more on. I think the 3-point shot's going to be a big one here. I like Chris Beard a lot here. I like what he's been doing. I think in the second half, you're going to see a big run from Texas Tech. They're long, they're athletic. I like the Red Raiders to kind of shock here a little bit and to win and get to a national championship game. Texas Tech and Chris Beard to a national championship game. So I'm playing the first half under. I'm going to play Michigan State to lead at the break minus 1. And I'm going to take Texas Tech on the money line to win this game outright in advance to a national championship game. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch these two teams go after it. I think we're going to be in for two very good games with 4 very good teams playing in the Final Four. It's going to be a ball in Minneapolis, but those are the 3 plays I'll be making coming up here for the second game of the Final Four. Do yourself a favor. Go to playpicks.com/bonus. DraftKings, $25 for free just for joining. Click the link. BetStars, $500 just for joining. Click the link. FanDuel, same thing, $500. Free refund on your first wager by clicking the link, playpicks.com/bonus and dkpicks.com. I'm Matt Peralt. Enjoy the Final Four. Click subscribe. Stay with us in the comment section. Tell me what you think of this game. Agree, disagree. If you're a Sparty fan, why am I going to be wrong here about this one? Why will Texas Tech lose this game? Where I think Texas Tech is going to win the game and beat Michigan State. Stay with us. Much more to come, including a national championship video coming up in a couple of days. I'm Matt Peralt for playpicks.com. Stick with us and enjoy the Final Four.